Welcome to the Jake Turner Podcast, where we share tools to win in life, health, and business. Hello, I'm Jake Turner. I have my doctorate in nurse anesthesia, and I'm a professionally certified life coach. Today's guest has built a career leading people through change, but her real story is about courage. She's a CPA, a certified professional coach, and a senior executive who spent over 3 decades building teams and driving results. She's also a powerful public speaker who's made it her mission to inspire others and to grow and do hard things. But what makes Robbie's story unforgettable is the resilience behind the resume. She's moved over every 2.5 years as the daughter of a fighter pilot, rebuilt her life after leaving a narcissistic marriage, walked with her daughter through the darkest of days, and proved to herself at 49 years old that she could compete in a bikini fitness show. In this episode, you're going to hear what pressure as a privilege really means, why respect matters more than being liked, how to rise after being passed over a promotion after 31 years, and why she believes you are never a victim because there's always a choice. You'll also hear lessons on resilience, leadership, and living life for yourself, not for anyone else. Please welcome my good friend, Robbie.
Thank you, Jake. Appreciate that.
Glad to have you here.
Thanks.
If your life right now had a book title, I don't know if we're talking about book titles, what would it be called?
Okay, so I have a couple of working titles, and one is Front Row and Spin, Front Row in Life.
Okay.
Okay, love spin class, and I feel like if I'm not in the front row, I'm not doing it. I'm not pushing myself hard enough. And the other one is For Me, Not To Me.
Okay. Why do you feel like if you're not in the front row, you're not doing enough?
Well, I just feel like I want to lead from the front for sure, but I will slack off. It's weird. I know me, and I know what the push I need, and then I feel like I'm on the front row and I'm keeping up, and then they look at me and they're 25, and I'm 60, and they're like, well, if she can do it, I can do it. So I feel like it brings everybody up as well.
So it's that good type of pressure, kind of a scenario you're creating yourself to help improve you and others, sounds like, too.
Yeah, so be the observed, not the observer.
Okay.
So I feel like the observer's in the back row on the sidelines, and being the observed, put myself out there, life happens for me, not to me, is on the front row.
Gotcha. So. Yeah, awesome. I love it. I know where to find you in spin class.
Yeah, front row.
You say, clear is kind, unclear is unkind. What does that look like in a real leadership?
Okay, so Brene Brown said it, so I can't take credit for it, for sure, and it was in her Dare to Lead book. And her vulnerability talks helped me, but this has changed my life. I had the please disease that Oprah Winfrey talks about.
Okay, I never heard of that. Please disease.
The please disease. And so I love my mom, and she taught me this. And my dad taught me how to be powerful, but she taught me this please disease. And so what I found in my writing mostly is, some of it is direction giving. I would pull punches. I would be less direct because I felt like it was too confrontational for me to be direct. So, hey, let's talk tomorrow. Well, okay, it'll probably never happen because I'm putting the onus on you now and not owning it. Will tomorrow at 1:00 work for our conversation? I'm going to put you on my calendar. I'll send you a link to Teams. So, but for some reason, I felt like that was very confrontational. So clear is kind, unclear is unkind. The other piece is that when I give directions to someone, I have a lot of people on my team, and if I'm asking them to do something, I want to be very clear. So if my boss gave me a direction that said, hey, give me a presentation on Q1, how the operations team went, and I need it next week. Well, okay, I could be scared enough not to ask him what happened or what the specifics are, or I could say, okay, what do you need? Paint me a picture of what this end result looks like. Is it Word? Is it a PowerPoint? How many slides do you want? Oh, no. I want like 3 or 4 slides. Great. Graphs, charts, excellent. Just 2 or 3 slides in the meat of it all and a summary at the end. And when do you need it by? Well, I need it by Friday morning, so have it done by Thursday afternoon. And then I say, okay, so it's clearer because he started very unclear. And when I don't accept responsibility for understanding the message, it falls flat. And I could have it done Friday afternoon, and it was for Friday morning. I could have spent 4 days putting a presentation together that didn't make any sense because that's not what he wanted.
Gotcha. So it helps basically create clear expectations so basically he can get more of what he wants and then create the job like step-by-step process for you as well, sounds like.
Yeah, and it's clarity. So clarity in my life, it happens on both sides of me talking and someone else giving me instruction. So when I'm clearer about what I want and what I need and the expectation I have, then you can make a commitment or you can negotiate. Everything's negotiable.
Yeah.
Right? So if he wanted it on Thursday afternoon and I had something for my daughter that day, hey, can I get it to you? Well, that would be a weird example, but Thursday morning maybe, because I have something to do. So we miss the fact that I can clarify and then I can be clearer in my communication.
That makes sense. I want to back up for a second. If you could try to make this as concise as you can, what is the, let's see, how do I say this? What is the please disease?
Oh, God. So the please disease is I want everyone to like me. I want everyone to like me. And I want to please everyone because I want everyone in my life to think I'm the most fabulous person. And so what that happens as I get up in my career and now I'm leading a lot of people, what I find is that I pull punches. I'm not as direct as I can be. I'm not as powerful as I can be because if I want you to like me all the time instead of respect me, which is a much better goal than you liking me, then that's where the success happens in my life. And so I've learned, and that's been more of a later learning, for sure, for me, because I wasn't as much like that. And there's a defining moment in my life, which is a leadership training that I did. That's where I learned that. I learned it in spades.
Gotcha. Well,
Yeah.
I definitely want to talk some more about that.
Yeah,
You moved every 2.5 years growing up with an Air Force fighter pilot dad.
I did.
Why did that lifestyle teach you, or what did it teach you about resilience?
Oh, man, I have a speech on resilience I just love. And so every 2.5 years, I was looking out the rearview mirror of my dad's car, sad, crying, upset. And what I learned is that the sooner I got to, I'm not there anymore. I'm moving from Abilene to Arkansas. And I mean, both kind of places that maybe not the mecca of places you want to be, but great states and great cities. Springdale, Arkansas. And so that was just one of my moves. But looking at that rearview mirror and finding a way to get excited about where I'm going. So resilience is the time, to me, it's about the time between, oh my God, something terrible happened. I'm having to leave all my friends. And when you're that young, it's really devastating.
Yeah.
To I got this. And what is this got this moment? So how long does it take me to get from the wallowing and the sadness of leaving all my friends to I get to make new friends? And as I look back on it, what I learned is that I could reinvent myself at every moment that we moved. So I would figure out, okay, this time I want to be with a different set of friends. I want to be more academic, or I want to be more vocal or something. And so it wasn't so conscious at the time, but it was certainly a resilience moment because I found that I could shorten the sadness, even though I was pen paling, because this is before cell phones. This is the 1900s, way back in the day. And so I would write them, but I would end the sadness and begin the adventure. And so it taught me so much about myself, how I overcome the sadness and how I get to a more positive outcome, and seeing the next step as an adventure and a journey and something exciting as opposed to something really negative. If I held on to it longer, it didn't help me. Now, I'm learning still. Resilience is hard. And there are still some things that just get me down. It's a gut punch. And finding the courage and the remembering that it's not happening for me, to me, it's happening for me. That's when it all shifts. I didn't know it back then, but I did find out that as we moved and I got older, I was able to shorten that time, and the resilience became immediate.
Yeah, I think it's an important lesson to learn. It makes me think of when my parents got divorced. I was in grade school, so I was young, I don't know, like 8, 9 years old or something like that. I remember being at school one day, and we were in different school districts or whatever. I think like the school either found out or something, but it was like, different school, oh, you don't go to school here anymore. Say goodbye to all your friends, and so it's like you get thrown into this new environment, and I bet someone listening to this could see and use that lesson, because versus, oh, you think about I'm losing all my friends and not going to have this or that, and you can use that as an opportunity to reinvent yourself, even at a young age. So I think it's interesting. It just made me think about that. So
it's the same experience, and it's devastating at that age.
Oh, yeah.
Way more so than an adult.
Right.
And so it shaped me, and it also made me a lot more courageous to talk to people, to find new friends, to unlock that side of myself, as opposed to being more of an introvert. My sister ended up being more of an introvert until she got, after college, she became a flight attendant. I'm like, okay, well, there you go. So, anyway, we've had our own journeys.
Yeah, we all do.
Yeah.
What was the hardest moment of leaving behind your 31-year career? And how'd you find the courage to walk into a new one?
So the succinct story goes, I was at a company it was in my 31st year. It was actually, I'd completed 30. And I told my mom, who's my roommate, she's 86, she's just fabulous. So I told her, they're never going to make this a VP corporate officer job. I was assistant VP. I'm like, they're never going to make a VP of this role that I had. And I said, but if they do, I want it. So I told my boss, I clearly wasn't strong enough, or I didn't have enough, I don't know, maybe it didn't matter. And so I came into the office, 15-minute meeting with my boss, and she said, hey, we have a new position, this VP role, we've created it, and someone else got it. She gave me her name.
Wow, how did that feel?
The gut punch, that's the first time I really used gut punch in my professional career, because my whole career had been about growing, and I would, they tap me on the shoulder, do this new role. Sure, yeah, sure. Find a way to say yes, right? And so when this came up, it was sad, because I could have seen what was going on. I could have seen the path that I was on and where she was. And she's a dear friend of mine. I mean, dear. And so it was one of those moments, I'm so excited for her, and I'm so devastated.
Yeah.
And so I told my boss, I said, I just feel irrelevant. I don't know why you need both of us. I mean, I know everything about this company, but I didn't know what she knew. And she had been in different meetings, in different rooms. The Hamilton, the room where it happened, she was in it, and I was not. And I blame a little bit her, my boss, for just a moment, but really I'm not a victim to it. But the resilience was not fast. I'll admit that.
I can imagine. I also wonder too if, like, you heard the saying, like, I don't know what I don't know. It's so easy to make a judgment about something when you don't have the whole picture about it. Then maybe you gain some information and you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
And then hard too, because it's like, yeah, we should make this great thing. And they're like, oh, that's a great idea. Here's for your friend.
Exactly. And I just didn't.
Neat.
I dreamed about
Thank you.
having this role, and she still has it. And we've overcome the moment. So I left her office, went to my friend, gave her a hug. We both cried. She cried for me. I was happy for her. And it took 2 or 3 months for me to sort of get to a better place. But she never saw that, because it was important that she knew that I supported her. I was smart enough to know, look, I'm not a victim to this. This happened for a reason. She was the better choice for whatever reason. I learned a little bit of that as I went through. She'd literally been in the room where it was happening, and I was just not. I mean, and she's also 10 years younger. I don't know if that mattered.
From there, how did you pivot with that event happening?
Yeah.
What do you think it led to in your life?
Well, this is key. You've heard, when one door closes, another one opens. And so I'd already gotten to the point of, okay, this happened for me, not to me. It wasn't immediate. It wasn't as fast as I got to when I was growing up, but it happened over the 3 months. And in that 3rd month, I got a call from a competitor, a much smaller competitor. And they said, we want everything you have, everything you've ever learned, all the things we see you doing. I was incoming president of our biggest trade association. We want it all. And it was heady. And at first I was just paralyzed. Do I leave my comfort zone? You'll hear me talk about that a lot. Mm-hmm. And it was, I always think I have a wide comfort zone, but boy, this challenged that. And so I had a conversation with the CEO, who I knew, because they all came from this company, the president, who I knew, and my best friend knew the president. She's also at this other company. It's convoluted. And it took me, 5 months of interviews. My daughter and I went to Italy because she's a singer, and we did some things over there. And I finally got to the point of, why? What am I hesitating for? I gave them everything I had, and I don't regret a moment. They taught me how to be a leader, and with my hard work as well. And so I finally just said yes because, well, first, no one stays in a 30-year job anymore. It's just not done.
Yeah, let alone like 3 weeks.
Right?
Seems like
Yeah.
3 months, you know?
Yeah, and I think we do that because we get more money, right? The more
Sure.
I leave, the more I'll because if you're in a company, you get 3% raises. But if you move companies, you get $10,000 and $20,000 and $30,000 raises.
Yeah, I think also it's the same thing with companies that are getting rid of people that quickly too.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, and they weren't getting rid of me. There was no indication I would be fired or laid off, but I felt like they don't need two powerhouses in these two roles reporting to each other. And so when he called me, it was just shocking. It was heady, but I just realized that there's more to offer in life, and I never dreamed at 58, I guess I was, that I'd walk into a job that was perfect for me and that allowed me to take even a step above. Leaders are learners. And so I found that I had a lot to learn about this new role. It was very similar to one, but it was truly operations. It was a senior VP role. And so I had dreamt about being a corporate officer, and for all the right reasons, I hope. And I finally, I was presented it, but it was at a different company. So life doesn't always unfold the way you think it will.
Right. And it makes you think of the parable. Sometimes a locked door is proof that you need to build your own house.
Oh, I love that.
That's a perfect example right there.
I love it.
That locked door at the other company where you want to be a VP. Oh, you're a VP. I mean, God was like, oh, yeah, we're just VP over here.
Yeah, and I got a bigger role. It's a smaller company, but I'm able to influence the outcome. I'm a big culture shifter because the company before I got there was led by just a very driven, direct powerhouse. He'd fire you in a meeting if you got the wild hair. It was just a lot.
Wow.
Good man started the company, but we were shifting to a different culture, I should say, and I fit that better.
Yeah.
So I was able to. There's so many things that I've learned in this new role, and it's just having the courage to do something out of your comfort zone is critical.
Yeah.
And the key was to finding a friend who would support me.
Yeah. It makes you think of too of like, you're like, I want this sweater right here, but then like, sorry, we're going to get it to your best friend.
Yes.
But then someone gives you another sweater over here. Actually, it's going to make you look better and it fits you better. Mm-hmm. So,
but you don't know that because you can't try it on.
Try.
You don't know. You don't until you get there and put it on. And even if it was a mistake, it would have been for the better. I would have learned something from it. And I would have either retired and been a public speaker, which is always my option, and a professional coach at full time, or it was going to be the best thing ever. And it happened to be the best thing ever.
Yeah. I think trust the tailor. That's our creator. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
He has a plan.
You trained as a leader through the toughest class of your life. How did that journey transform you as a mother and a professional?
Man. So our company had a few people had gone through a class called Discover Leadership Training. And I went through this class. It was absolutely life-changing. My daughter was 10 months old. So she doesn't know a life without a mom that this class shaped. So I took the class, and remember I had that please disease, and
Yes.
I didn't feel like I had enough power, and I knew it was out of my comfort zone at the time. And so I see these women, and one man, two women, just powerhouses. The way they deliver the training is big and tough, and projection and presence. And I'm like, I want that. And so having the courage to say, that scares the crap out of me, though. I mean, beyond measure, it scares me. So Mike is the owner, and his health isn't great, but the class is still there. It's a 4-day experiential class for adults. And so the fear I had about being a trainer was being in front of people my own age and even older, and being an expert in something that I didn't think necessarily I was. So anyway, he said, sure, I'd love for you to be an assistant trainer. So the journey for me just to be an assistant trainer, Jake, I was so bad at it.
Okay.
I
what were you bad about it?
So I'd stand in front of I could get the presence part, but I
Sure.
was so scared. My heart was beating so fast. I would talk so fast. You couldn't even understand me. All I wanted to do was get off.
Okay.
Move. And so a lot of it was memorized because we deliver very consistent messages for the class, and it's an arc to the class.
Okay.
And there was all these interactive processes that scared the crap out of me. And it was hard for me to get over my fear. Mike kept saying, you're going to be one of the best trainers we've ever had. And I'm like, well, I don't see it. And I didn't quit. I mean, there were moments I'm going to class and I'm throwing up. I'm so nervous.
wow.
And I've never done it before.
Yeah, wow.
But I knew that was something I needed. And so I spent 10 years. I got to assistant trainer. I was trained to be a master trainer. And it changed my life. It changed everything about my personality. I got rid of, for the most part, the please disease. I got rid of my drama. I was a drama girl. Everything was very important or extremely this. And so there's
I'm an important business lady.
yes, I'm very important. It's the adjectives that we use that just create this drama. And I was creating, Mike was like just beating it out of me in the best possible way.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, I can't remember the question about the class.
It's okay.
It just taught me so much about how much more power I have inside me.
Yeah. And it made you a really good speaker, I imagine.
Well, that was the byproduct. So I didn't even know that. So I spent 10 years, and at some point I just needed to move on. The job changed. COVID happened, and the job changed. So I'm like, I don't have the time to do it. But the fear was well gone. Well gone. Now I was just about the class because it was about the student there. And they would get to these amazing breakthroughs. And they'd quit or they'd get to a breakthrough. A lot of quitters. But so when I left, I dabbled. Someone said, well, you've spoken in Discover. Come speak to us. I'm like, oh, okay. So my favorite presentation I have is The Power of Choice.
Okay.
And what I found, because we were taught to be a powerful, projective speaker, is I was really good at it. I could get the audience, pull them in, have the arc of, voice inflections, higher and lower, and speak faster and then slower. And I just learned all that. Mm-hmm. It was just natural for me. And now I speak all the time. I coach. Now I'm a coach. We met on our coaching
we'll talk
certification.
About that. Yeah.
And all of it's because I made the choice to do something that scared the crap out of me.
Yeah. I think it is. And I think I haven't spoken at arenas yet, but difference between a small arena and a big arena, just like you stepping into this leadership class, there's probably a lot of pressure, I assume.
Yes.
But the pressure is proof that you're playing in a bigger arena.
Oh, very smart.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And the stage matters.
Well, you're being the observed again instead of being the observer on the sidelines.
Yeah.
So the pressure you mentioned. So if I was I'd be up there managing a process, and Mike was tough. He wanted the class a very certain way because we got to amazing outcomes. He would come up, and he'd just say thank you.
Yeah.
And he'd sit me down.
Yeah.
I mean, never in my life. I've been the star of every play I've ever been in, if the world of life is a play. And he was like, no, that's not going to be good enough.
Not good enough. That's a tough phrase to say.
Man, you're not doing it, Robbie. This is not it.
Wow.
And so I give a lot of credit to the push that he gave, the standards that he set. Be unafraid to set standards at work, in life. Your boundaries matter. So
yeah, everything. All right, this is a tough one.
Uh-oh.
So you survived a narcissistic marriage and rebuilt life for you and your daughter. What gave you the courage to finally walk away?
So this is my second marriage.
Okay.
So that's important because shame comes up. And Brene Brown talks a lot about shame. And so I've read so much about it now and so much about narcissism. And I'm the one who's diagnosed it. So it's not fair, but this is my view of who he was.
Yeah. It's a hot
It
topic word right now. Everyone says it. I mean,
well, and until you've lived it and really seen it, narcissists are everywhere. And it's a sociopathy moment. Really, you hear sociopath, you think of, Jeffrey Dahmer or something, but no, sociopaths are everywhere. And so in his case, he love bombed me, which I had no idea was happening. I mean, it was the most perfect relationship ever. And I should have wondered, why is it perfect?
Like too good to be true.
He'd show up at my house at 6 a.m. with hot Starbucks coffee.
That sounds nice.
It was great. It was great.
That sounds so nice.
And I'm like, and then I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ as our Savior.
Yeah.
And he was a Christian, and he told me he had tattoos and stuff. And he was my personal trainer.
Okay.
Do not comment on that. Okay, save your judgment.
I'm
that girl.
I think one thing you've learned through the coaching process, like I don't
There's no
I don't judge. Yeah.
No, but it's just I'm living the cliche. So anyway, he was my personal trainer, tattoos, and one morning we were working out, and he gave me a salvation story. Well,
What's the story?
it may have been true.
Okay.
Well, he was dynamically saved on campus at University of Houston.
Okay.
And so he was just pretty much a ne'er-do-well. And then he found Christ and God. And so, but it was all about playing into what was important to me. Everything important to me, he would love bomb me with.
Gotcha.
Guess what happened after we got married?
It went really well.
It stopped. The love bombing was gone. Yeah, no, it didn't go well.
Gosh, yeah.
And so as a person who survived it, which is the only word I can say, is that since I had that taste, I always want it back.
Sure.
And now I've committed to this man. And at some point during the courtship, I probably knew. And I was so involved and enamored with what he was doing for me, which wasn't really real, that I couldn't see past it. And I felt like there's 7 billion people on this planet. And I've said, this is the only man for me. This is the only person who can satisfy me and make me feel this way, which was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
There are 7 billion people on this planet. Find another one that doesn't step over your boundaries. So and I've talked to my daughter a lot about this. So we get married, and now he's over my boundaries. He's pushing me. He's now abusing me verbally. It was mostly verbal. Once he thought I was having an affair with the guy at Discover Leadership Training.
Okay.
I just wasn't. But
Yeah.
it was a lot when we talked and stuff. And so he threw me out of bed and threw me in the bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
And so when I realized I should leave him, Sam was 10 months old.
Okay.
So this happened right when Discover started.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But I didn't have the courage yet. And I kept thinking, so the shame creeps up. Shame is just a nasty devil. And the shame in my head was, I can't be twice divorced with a 10-month-old baby. I can't. What are my family and friends going to say? I've made this commitment to this man, and all of a sudden it was a mistake. I made a bad choice. But I didn't know it. And so, but the shame, and so it was all to myself. So nobody knew, Jake. It was a big old secret. And that's when the problem starts. This is how women get mired and mired and mired in these relationships because they're not telling anyone. The minute I told my mom, my sister, and my best friend kind of at the same time, it all changed because now it was no longer a secret. Shame dies in the sunlight. It really doesn't even exist other than the conversation I'm having in my head. 3 more years. Well, I didn't tell him until 3 years later, but it took me 3 years of just heartache. And at one point, we went to dinner one night. I can't remember if Sam was born or not at this point. He wouldn't talk to me. He was punishing me for something I did earlier. Wouldn't say a word. We went to a nice restaurant, no conversation. And he was just, and so I went to the bathroom, called my friend Angela, cried, and I still wonder why I didn't walk away then.
Yeah. Did you feel trapped?
Oh yeah. But I was trapped by my own, it was my own conversation.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm twice divorced, and I have a young baby. I don't want to raise her alone, and the fear and just the shame of it all. And so I told Angela, but she was more sympathetic than like, get out. Because that wasn't, she's a Christian, and she, the faith of marriage and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and I don't think you should just give up on a relationship per se. That's not your case, sounds like. I think your perspective and your advice you could give in the situation would be very helpful. If you were to have the opportunity, like you can now, to say to someone, what would you say to someone who's in a bad relationship now and they can't get out?
Well, this is easy because you can get out. The can't get out is the problem. I'm creating a prison in my head that doesn't exist. There is someone in your life, even if it's a stranger, even if it's a coach. Say something to someone. The minute you speak it out loud to someone else, they're not committed. They're not emotionally involved with the situation. And generally, most people will say, "What are you doing? Let me help you get out. Let me go pack your stuff."
Right. Right.
He's gone today. Let's go pack it. I don't care. We'll find you somewhere to live.
Yeah.
Now, not everyone has that moment, but there are also, like the women's center in Houston is for battered and abused women. It's for women who are fleeing from a relationship, but they won't do it because they're just afraid.
Yeah.
So for me, it was the advice I would give is speak it out loud. Tell someone in your life, because the shame isn't real.
Yeah.
It is not. You're beautiful. You're whole. You don't deserve this.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't be doing it to you.
Yeah. And men get stuck in this similar situation
There's
too.
no doubt about it.
You know, and I think sometimes you just gotta run. You know,
Right.
do whatever it takes and get out.
Well, but when you're in love with someone, and sounds like it's personal for you, when you're in love with someone, you know how it feels.
Sure.
And
of
it's
course.
scary because I want that moment that was beautiful. We've had those moments.
Sure.
I want it back.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if you were in one, but if you had the same experience. But for me, it was just finally telling someone, and they're like, "What in the hell?"
Yeah. On the podcast, I never want to. I think it's a good look to talk about my ex relationships because there's always some benefit that
Sure.
I had in those relationships.
Sure.
But anyone in a tough one, just know too that there's an opportunity cost as well.
No
You know,
doubt.
3 years is 3 years you could have spent looking for someone else, doing anything else, all that time, energy. It's a lot. There's
Yeah,
big
a lot to unpack.
there's big cost for it.
Well, and I finally realized that I'm doing this for my daughter as much as for me, and she didn't deserve to be part of a relationship that was toxic.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. And sometimes the very thing that breaks your heart is actually what sets you free.
Very much so. That's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah. So glad you're free.
Yeah, and so what I know about myself now is that you can push me, and there's a moment when I was done, Jake. I was done. There was,
Yeah.
and oh my God! Then he started love bombing me again, gifts, send me this Christian video. I'm like, I'm just done.
Yeah.
You had all these moments.
It makes me think of coaching techniques. So just so listeners know, Robbie coached me during my IPEC life training. And so something that was beneficial for me is if you have someone that's pushing your buttons or something in your life that's triggering you, basically use the technique called where you basically like clip the buttons, click the wires on the buttons basically. So if someone tries to push your button doesn't work. You know what I mean? And that when you said it to me, that really stuck to me. It's like someone's pushing the button, it doesn't work.
Yeah,
And so
and that their whole job as a narcissist that has no conscience, by the way, that's the crux of the matter. They want that button, and they know exactly how to push the button.
Yeah, exactly.
And the worst thing you can do for a narcissist is to make it non-pushable,
Yeah.
which is what I finally did.
Yeah, because you get frustrated because the same thing they're doing is not getting the same reaction.
Exactly.
What was going through your mind the day you found your daughter had tried to take her life? And how did you rise as a mother in that moment?
So Sam has gotten a dose of this confidence, and accountability breeds trust, and courage is not absent of fear. Courage is feeling the fear and doing it anyway. So this is what the Discover journey was about for me.
Yeah, it's a great book too, by the way. Have you read that book?
What is it?
It's called like Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway.
Oh, no.
Pretty sure it's a book title.
I should
yeah.
read that.
It's good.
For
yeah.
sure.
I think you know the concept already, but
Well, yeah.
go ahead.
And so Sam, my daughter's name is Samantha. Sam,
Yeah.
in a speech
Yeah.
in like 4th grade, used it.
Okay.
Feel the fear and do it anyway. Anyway.
Very cool.
So she's learned all this. And so I felt like she had a good foundation. And when she was 4, we divorced.
Okay.
And she was going back and forth. And what I came to realize that she was suffering. And I'm not sure if it's because of her hormones or because of the relationship. So she would go to her dad's house, and it was toxic. He had a new wife, and it was, I mean, I wasn't a yeller. They just yell. And she would throw things and cuss out Sam in the process. She was just mean.
Yeah.
She's not anymore.
Not helpful.
We're friends,
Not
which is so wild.
Yeah. One quick thing I want to say.
Yeah.
At a job that I've worked, I think it'd be a cool thing to have for relationships. They have this like there's this digital clock here.
Yeah.
They have a decibel meter Like
Oh.
how loud it is in the room.
Oh.
How great would that be? We might probably get one for the studio if I start
That'd be
getting really,
great.
really zealous here.
Yeah.
But how great to be like, oh, if we're talking over a certain level, like,
It's not me telling you to calm down. It's this. It's
Well,
showing you. Yeah.
they were just like, how productive is the conversation going to be
Yeah.
at a certain decibel level, you know?
You'd have to both be bought into that.
Oh,
Otherwise, I'd be pissed off at
well,
the clock.
I think that-
turn that damn thing off.
I think
I need to yell.
yeah, you're making it go.
Exactly.
Or it would be a competition who can make it go the highest.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Ooh,
would
that's
probably,
a good one.
That would probably be something me and my guy friends would try and do.
Okay, it could be enthusiasm that gets you high.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
That's fine.
getting to the moment because
Yeah.
the moment was wild.
Yeah.
So before the moment, overnight when she was, I don't know, 11 or 12, she just became skin and bones. Like I'm telling you, it was overnight. She decided that the only thing she could control was her eating.
Okay.
So one day I just saw her and she was pale and thin, and there was several defining moments with her. And that's, she'll tell, if she was on this podcast, she would tell you right now, the defining moment in my life was my mom rising up and helping me solve this, because I put the fear of God into her. You are going to ruin your life. This is unhealthy to the most extent. Everything changes for you when you do it at this age. So she started eating again. I got a nutritionist who was also a psychologist. It was very helpful. So we'd been through that. Then she started cutting.
Oh, jeez.
This hits me. And so, but she wasn't doing it in places we couldn't see. It was visible, which was wild. So she was crying out for help. So we saw it on her arm, we saw it on her leg. And again, if you got to learn about cutting. And now that I've said it and used it in a lot of speeches, people come up and say, I was a cutter. I still fight not doing it, because somehow the pain of that erases, I mean, that's not good pain, but the pain of the cutting erases the pain of my life.
Yeah, I've also known people who've done that, and what they had said, that the physical pain felt better than some of the mental pain they're
Exactly.
experiencing. And it's just a very interesting concept.
It would never even occur to me to do it. And I wonder if she wasn't in this age of internet and even knowing that was a thing. Like, how do you even start that if you've never heard of it?
It was kind of popular, I think, for a while in the 90s or something.
So she saw someone do it, or was in whatever. So once again, I had to fight off for just seconds. This is, what would people say? Like, she's cutting. Okay, stop it. This is your daughter screaming for help.
Yeah.
So I got her help. We, a psychologist now, we're talking, we have a book on it. We're talking about it. She's forced to talk about it. And then the thing happened. So one morning she comes downstairs and she says, Mom, I've been throwing up all night and I don't feel good. And I'm like, you don't have a fever? Check her fever. And I said, well, of course, moms all have drugs in their, cabinet
Sure.
for a lot of things, but this was for nausea. And so
Okay.
I said, great, I'll give you a nausea pill and we'll sort of see how it goes today.
Okay.
She goes back downstairs 15 minutes later and says, Mom, we need to go to the emergency room. So I'm still unaware, Jake. I have no idea what's happened.
Yeah,
I have no idea that I could have literally walked upstairs and found my daughter dead.
Wow.
So she knew, and she was still at that point, because this happens with people, if you ever read about and those who live, they didn't want to die, because so the dark of night, whenever it happened, she took a bottle of Advil.
Okay. Wow.
Well, you know more than anybody what Advil does. It's an NSAID, and your stomach can't take it. It's too much.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So she was throwing up all night. Well, she was still convinced there was enough in her system and she was going to die. She didn't want to die, which is great and amazing. But I'm like, that's okay. My daughter's telling me to go to the emergency room. This is weird.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I took her close. They saw her right away, and they knew instantly. I don't know, these doctors, they see it. They know her age. She's now 13. And they pull me aside and pull her aside, and they tell me, your daughter has attempted to take her own life. And the thoughts in my head, first, like, she could be dead. Like, I can't even grasp that I could have walked upstairs and found her dead.
Yeah.
And God didn't have that happen. And so,
Thank God.
and so because of Discover, really, there was no time for pity. And I was going to pity me, of all things. You know, it's wild because I failed her. I'm a terrible mother. This is the moment that I'm in. The shame of, well, my daughter, I'm powerful and I had this job and I've done this teaching and, you know, all these things. It didn't matter. And so they had someone come in from the county and they said, we think she's a harm to herself. And they put her in a hospital for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Then her dad acted a fool.
Yeah.
A fool. Just a fool. I can't even imagine what he did to her at this point, but no verbal. And so I just realized in that moment that none of that was going to benefit me, and it was not going to benefit her. And so as tough as I was when she was diminishing her eating, I had to be even tougher. So, of course, I told my parents. Mom came up there. They took her via ambulance to a behavioral hospital, 4 teens. And so she was with teens who had lots of issues, Jake. I mean, we unpacked this a lot. She's like, Mom, my life was fabulous compared to the sadness and the heartache that these kids have been through. And so the whole of it was very cathartic for she and I. And because she was alive. And just the thought, my best friend has lost her 19-year-old son. He's gone, only son, died in a tragic accident at Texas A&M. Wow. And I know that heartache. He was as much my son as hers. And so the fact that God gave us this second chance. So I went to my boss, told her immediately, I have to tell you, you have to understand what's going, because I'm not the same right now. And she said, you know what? She was amazing. She's still one of my favorite people. She said, I've got a group of women. If you don't mind me not sharing your name, but because I didn't know who to turn to, I didn't really have a therapist that would work for this moment. We found one on this Memorial Trading. It's just a Facebook app. And she was like, here's the situation. Who has someone that could really work for this situation? We found Dr. Watts, and she is today still Sam's therapist. Sam says, Mom, hey, call Dr. Watts. I'm like, oh, my credit card's going to go, tick up $250 a pop. But it's so Sam then learned how to cope. So what happens is kids can't cope with all this emotional stress they're feeling. And I felt like I was right there, Jake. I'm telling you, I know I had a job and I had a helper, Ophelia, mom number 2, probably mom number 1. But anyway, the 2 of us raised Sam, really. Sometimes she was 4. And we've just she found ways to cope with the sadness, and it's never as bad as you think. So what I really wish she would do, she's a professional opera singer now.
Oh, yeah.
Senior in college, already
cool.
has a gig, had a gig with the Cincinnati Opera. So
amazing.
she's going somewhere.
Yes.
We'll see how much she perseveres. It's a tough life. It's a gig life for sure.
Sure.
But I can't remember the point of that. I really hope one day she helps others. Her story is so fascinating with the eating and then the cutting and then the attempted. And she tells me today, because for a while I'm like, how you feeling? I see you're upset. I was so worried. I'd make her sleep with me. Like you can't have nights by yourself. I wouldn't let her sleep over. I was just terrified. Yeah. But I can't keep her in a cocoon. So that stopped over time. And she says, Mom, today she's telling me, the world needs me. Yeah. I don't, and I know I know that it's the biggest impact on the people around me, and I wouldn't do that to you.
Yeah. It's like a bird that's in a cage doesn't know it can fly until you open the door.
Yeah.
And think now that the door's open, she's fine.
Mm-hmm. But we went through hell to get there.
Sure. And
I just never thought, I'll be honest, I never thought it would happen to me.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah.
Me.
Of course.
I'm powerful.
Right.
And it had nothing to do with me.
Everything looks good on paper.
Yes. It had nothing to do with me.
Well, maybe we could have her on the podcast someday. I don't know.
Oh, I think that'd be fascinating.
You could talk to her about it and see if she'd be open to it. So
I think that would be really amazing.
Yeah.
We could spend some time in Nashville.
Yeah, it'd be cool. That'd be great. At 49, you walked on stage in a bikini at the, I'm going to say this wrong, the
Musclemania.
Musclemania. So
Yeah.
at 49, you walked on stage in a bikini at a Musclemania show. What did it prove to yourself and your daughter?
Oh, God. So, well, first off, anything's possible. And I equate it to baking a cake. If
Okay.
you put the right ingredients in a cake, cook it for the right amount of time, you're going to have a beautiful cake that's going to taste great. And so, I went to a gym, and this guy, Dwayne Malone.
Okay.
Shout out to Dwayne.
Okay.
He was the promoter for Musclemania, and he also trained all kinds of people, men, women, heavy muscle to the more bikini style. He goes, you should do a show. This is like a 45. And I should have done it then, because it gets a whole lot harder the older I get, because your body needs to figure out what this new moment is. And the more you do it, the more your body bounces back. But I'd never done it before. So at 48, I said, you know what, Dwayne, stop it. Quit saying that. I'm going to do it. I've lived my life outside my comfort zone ever since I went through Discover. So why not? I might as well be 49 and in a bikini.
Why not? YOLO?
No, not YOLO, YODO. You only die once.
Oh.
You get a chance to live every single day of your life.
Okay, I like that.
So become the observer. Become the observed. People. So, okay, great. So what I learned, though, is that Sam, my daughter, who was, 12 or 13, all of us happened at the same time, she was like, this is, Mom, these really high heels.
Mom in a bikini.
I know, like, she just thought it was, she thought it was voyeuristic. Like, you don't need to be on stage in a bikini,
Okay.
Mom.
Gotcha.
Well, so what's amazing about this whole fitness industry is that there's an economy around it. So
Okay.
there's tons of people involved. There's a posing coach. Okay. There's someone who makes your bikini because it's handmade, custom made to you. They fit you when you're not skinny. So they're trying to figure out how skinny you're going to be.
Interesting.
And then there's, good Lord, Robbie, there's the tanning people. There's the makeup and hair people. And then there's the trainers that I worked with. And then there's the meal prep that they're giving you. I mean, and so
Wow.
it is very restrictive. And this is where the do hard things starts. Do hard things. Why not? I mean, all it was for me was a moment to not to control my life, but to control the things I can and do something that would make me really happy and a role model for others. So fast forward to my first show, and I was competing with 35 and up, which is just mean. 35-year-old. I mean, that's a chasm when you're 49.
Because you're 49 at the time,
I'm 49.
right? Yeah, and it's just 14 years.
I'm like, don't you have like a 40 and older category? No. Because there's not enough people competing at these ages.
45 plus.
Exactly. 45 would be great.
Yeah.
And the bigger shows you go to, the more they have the categories that start that way because they don't have enough people.
Yeah.
And you don't want to have one person on stage.
Yeah. How hard do you think it would be to compete? All these people had coaches, since we're both coaches. If someone didn't have any of these people helping them.
Oh, I don't think you do it. I can't. And well, with YouTube and the internet and all the things, you probably could figure it out. But it would be virtually impossible because towards the end, you do carb cycling. When do you start that? You do water depletion the last week. The last day, the water depletion chart that I got from Dwayne said, sip is needed. So you are water depleted, you're hungry. Like always, these ladies on this stage are just pissed off. We're starving and we haven't had any water that day. Yeah. And you're trying to peak out, your peak moment. I wasn't like a big bodybuilder, but I'm just still trying to peak to get your skin to tighten up against your muscles so it looks better.
That's what peaking means?
Yes.
I don't know what that means. Okay,
yes.
Gotcha.
And then if you're a big bodybuilder, you'll cut, meaning cut your weight. So you bulk, and then they cut. And so I was sitting next to a guy recently who was in his cutting phase, and he pulled out chicken and green beans on the plane.
Delicious.
And he apologized to me. I'm like, of all people, I get you.
Right.
Because I carried chicken to Baylor football games. I carried food everywhere. I learned that what I eat doesn't affect anybody else, Jake. They may look at me funny and judge me for it. I couldn't care less. Because I was baking the cake.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a couple things I want to say with that. First off, if you had a full-time personal assistant helping you with this, do you think that would be helpful?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So anyone listening to this, there's a great way to hire a personal assistant. So I have an executive assistant. It's been a game changer for me. If you go to my Instagram at Jake Paul Turner, DM me the word assistant and podcast. Make sure you follow me. I will send you the framework, the job description, the exact process, how to hire a personal assistant. Now, you may think that what you eat doesn't affect you, but
It doesn't affect you. It affects me big.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying, you're saying though that like what you were eating doesn't affect anyone else.
No.
I disagree with that.
Oh, interesting.
And
Okay.
here's
I'm
why.
listening.
As of recent, I've changed my diet quite a bit to where it's pretty simple. So like protein shakes in the morning. I eat the same. It's the veggie meal I eat for lunch. Okay.
No protein?
There's protein.
Okay.
It's lentils
Okay. Excellent.
and broccoli sprouts. It's mainly vegetables.
Yeah.
I like eating meat, but I want to get a lot of vegetables in, so I eat this specific thing. And so when I'm at work or I take it to the motocross track, I'm eating this thing. It's like probably one of the healthiest things you could eat. People are like, "Oh, what's that?" And I'm like, "Oh, what's this and this and oh, I want to try that." I've had multiple people change their diet, and
Because of you.
and they eat that now, and that's just from just seeing me. I'm just eating my lunch, So I think it's important to note that what we do ourselves does affect the people around us quite a bit. So
I feel like you're planting seeds around people who care enough to wonder what you're doing. For me, I was bringing lunch to meetings. I was bringing food, snacks to meetings. So if it was 9:30 or 10, I was eating a snack. If it was 3 o'clock, I was eating all day long. And people, they get mad at me. And I got written up for eating in meetings.
oh, jeez.
And so I'm like, look, you want me to work here? I'm doing this. I'm doing this thing. And I feel like that's a crab in the bucket concept.
Yeah.
Nobody wants you to get out.
Yeah.
That's too weird. And so you and I both fast. I'm fasting right now.
Right. That's right.
So, so I'm in, I don't know, hour 58 or something. And so I do hard things, but it doesn't affect anybody else. But it certainly makes people go, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
Yeah. Someone may not have heard it, and I know me and you are familiar with a lot of different parables and stories.
Yes.
Just that's kind of the life we live in. But could you explain to someone who doesn't know it, what is the crab in the bucket theory?
Oh, well, so the concept, they did studies on this, and they just in rats and other places. So one crab, you got all these crabs, and they're, and you've got people in general who want sameness, and change is scary, and they don't want to get out of their comfort zone. So the person is getting out of their comfort zone, that's reaching up to the top of the bucket and actually pulling themselves up. It's so scary for the people who don't understand it. They're going to pull you back down. So I feel like society in general, because we're outliers, Jake, I feel like we both are, they look at me like I have 4 heads sometimes. Why are you fasting? Well, A, it's do hard things. B, it gets me touched by God. And C, it kills cancer cells. Oh, by the way, autophagy does. And so I'm already in autophagy, and it makes my head clear-headed. That's why it was great to do it now, because I'm just firing, and then it makes me freezing cold. But anyway, long story.
Yeah, that's funny because I did a 96-hour fast a couple months ago, and I always think I'm not recommending a fast. Always see your doctor before you do any of that stuff. But I wasn't going to this weekend. I have 2 more podcasts tomorrow and just kind of know my own body. Maybe I'll do it next weekend. But I didn't think it was that bad, honestly. Once I got past after 36 hours, I was good. As long as you can't be around people who are like, aren't you hungry?
Exactly.
Are you hungry?
Here's my food. Smell this.
Wow, yeah. Want to go out to eat? I'm sure you don't want to
But
eat
those
something?
are the crabs. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And you're the one that's reaching up for that top rim. You got your hand on it. And you're going to get out. And they're going to regret that. And they're going to want you to be more like them.
Yeah, it's true.
It is crazy.
I know you said this a couple times, but you believe life happens for you, not to you.
Yes.
What's one story where that truth carried you through?
Well, I didn't finish the fitness show. And so, the fact that I said yes to Dwayne, and then 16 weeks later, it's 16-week prep. 16 weeks is it? It takes 16 weeks.
That's 4 months, yeah.
So in any shape, it's 16
yeah.
weeks you're on stage.
That's quite a while, yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Sam, I told you she was really frustrated
Yeah, your
that I
daughter.
was doing it. So we get there, we get on stage. It's a family show. They don't do anything risque. Some of these shows have these poses you wouldn't want to do.
Okay.
And I was pretty good at it. I was pretty good at stage presence. My body wasn't perfect, but she wrote me this little card, and it has the word courage on it. And each word she put confidence. Always looking out for others. I just thought it was
cool.
And she said, "Mom, I was so wrong about it."
Interesting.
And so that's a life happened for me, not to me, where I thought it might be negative for her. It was really positive moment that she still carries. She says, "Mom, if you can do that, now that she's 21, she gets how hard it is." I mean, she'd be way better on stage than me at 21. But the biggest moment for that was that gut punch I got in my boss's office. And it didn't happen overnight because I didn't have the concept as well. Today, I can pull it up. And so we are faced with moments in our lives every day that we can choose tough or suffering. I can suffer all day long, or I can just say, hey, this happened for me. What's the reframing of it? Reframe is there's a book on it, I'm sure. Reframe it from a negative to a positive. We put frames around our life, and we tend to post them as this way. So this is a negative moment. Well, yes, it was a negative moment. I was not given what I thought I deserved. I didn't deserve it. That's not the truth, but I thought I should. And so it happened for me because, as you said, that door closed. And now this whole opportunity that I would, if that hadn't happened, I would have never even talked to him. I would have said, no, I'm not going over there.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about over there. I'm like, man, but why are they getting people? What's going on over there?
Yeah.
I'm the crab, right?
Right. Yeah,
Don't get out of the bucket.
Yeah, exactly.
And exactly. No. You get back over here.
Yeah.
And so that moment, more than anything, was defining for me. That happened absolutely for me. So what else in my life am I negative framing that I could just change the conversation? So if I cut off in traffic, or there's a pile up and I'm behind it, thank God I wasn't sooner. It could have been me.
Yeah.
I can call Jake on the phone. We had a little moment.
Yeah.
All the things that happens in that moment when I reframe it.
Yeah.
And I come to work and I'm happy and thrilled, and instead of being pissed off about being in traffic for 2 hours.
Yeah, I know it's ironic about the traffic. You are the traffic.
Oh, that's true. There's no doubt.
People don't think about that. You're in the car. People are thinking, whatever, this car in front of me. And you're sitting there,
I'm
whatever,
the one.
whatever, this car behind you, the car in front of me. It's, every person's thinking the same thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's funny.
And I've gotten, and because I use a disc profile. I'm a high I, if you've ever used disc.
I don't know.
Fast-paced, people-oriented. That's me.
Okay.
You can see this. I'm fast-paced, people-oriented.
Yeah,
I'm
10
not
out of 10
surprising.
energy. Yeah.
But I'm also a D, which is task-based, fast-paced and task-oriented.
Okay.
But anyway, so a high I in a vehicle like me, I don't have any idea what's going on in the car, outside the car. People flip me off a lot, and I have no idea what I did.
Okay.
Like I'm just I probably have changed lanes without my blinker, and someone upset, and I'm just smiling at them. I'm so sorry. I got my music going. I'm on the phone.
Yeah, it depends what city you drive in. Nashville's people are
Well,
all over. Like I was in Greece recently. People drive like as fast as they possibly can.
And there's no lanes over there, right?
Well,
lanes are suggestions.
I like to go fast, especially dirt bikes and stuff.
Oh, of course.
But when I'm driving on the highway or something, it's a lot harder to just be like set the cruise and just chill.
Yeah.
Well, that's typically what I do.
Yeah.
But
And that's a for you moment.
yeah.
So I'm in this car. Let me meditate. Let me make a call to someone. So I love a surprise and delight moment. Every day, surprise and delight someone. So that car time is a moment to do that. I just pick an alphabet letter, and I'm at the D's now, so I've recycled it. So I find a D on my phone
Okay.
that I hadn't called, and I've called most random people, and I'm like, what?
Oh, I see. So you pick a letter of someone you haven't called, go through the alphabet, and then you call them.
Yeah, and so every day pick a letter. Today's my D day. Tomorrow, E day.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And so, so that's a moment I can surprise and delight. So it's happening for me.
Yeah.
I just got to find the four.
It's a great reframe. I want to talk about real quick about coaching. So again, I was training to be a life coach. You coached me.
I did.
Could you give the listeners some insight, I guess, about me as a person and what your perspective is?
Well,
What was it like to coach me?
well, no doubt. So the way you showed up in coaching is how you are as a coach, which is really cool. So my experience with you is that you're deeply thoughtful. And I did use an adjective there, and I meant it, right? Thoughtful,
that.
thoughtful. But
Yeah.
I just feel like you think past the everyday and the boundaries that we set in this box we're in. You're thinking really a bigger picture about how I'm affecting the world around me. And so that was cool. You bring a lot of positivity and enthusiasm, and you're open. And so what that openness creates is curiosity. So when I was really curious and digging, you didn't fight me. And I know that's how you are as a coach, because then you coached me.
What was that like?
Well,
Because I coached you
it
just
was
for a
so
brief amount of time.
interesting,
Yeah.
right? We'd never done that.
Right. It was just for
And-
there's a official certification exam you have to take. And so I coached you for 30 minutes. What was
You
it like
did.
for me to coach you, even just for 30 minutes?
Everything I learned about you, I saw in that moment, because the curiosity came forward, the deep connecting the dots. Because as you know, as we coach people, we're not giving advice.
Correct.
That is really, I guess we could, since we're not in this structured environment, but the concept was we don't give advice.
Right.
And so it's
we coach who you are as a person.
correct.
Because
And the
that's
energy you bring.
correct.
Right, energy. And so the energy you brought and the connecting of the dots that you made in your own life made you an excellent coach for me, because you connected the dots. Like, oh, I'm going to ask a question that isn't obvious probably to Robbie. And it was like, okay, how did you even think about that question? And give me a minute, because this is so important. And so I would highly recommend anyone to want to be coached by you.
Yeah.
And the point of coaching, and I mentioned that shame dies in the sunlight. We are the sunlight.
Right.
A coach becomes your sunlight. So when you speak these things to a coach, you're unleashing the action that can happen. That until then I'm in this prison. The prison bars break. And then if you're thoughtful enough and open enough to the coaching, to the questions and the probing, then life changes.
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend anyway, and you're way farther along than that than I am of having a coaching, practice. But I'd recommend you for sure, Jake.
What would you say to someone who's like, I don't know, it seems really expensive. They're kind of like on the fence about it.
Yeah.
They don't understand the value in it. What would you say to that person?
Well, so, okay, to stay in your comfort zone, be the crabs in the bucket. So leaders are learners. And so when we stop learning and stop growing, what are we doing? We're dying, decaying.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit on my couch and die. Is that really what I want? Just because someone was 60 with a cane doesn't mean I have to be.
True.
And so finding ways to challenge myself is what coaching's all about. There's more to this life than what I know. And someone who has an insight into me that's not me. And it's not even my best friend. My best friend has all these biases, and she knows me, and she's fabulous. My best friend Caressa got me through the whole change of career. But it's not the same as being a coach. And so what I would say is you're stuck in your comfort zone. When you realize that there's more out there and that people could help you, that's when the game changes. And I would just say they're probably in more of a victim mentality. Life is happening for and to me, and I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah. I think it's really important when you're getting coached, especially from you coached me, you can talk to a coach and everything's completely confidential. And someone's actually listening to you. A lot of people don't listen. Even as we're talking, I say something, create space. That lets people know, hey, they actually heard what I've said. Acknowledge and validating what someone said. Most simplest communication tools there is. People don't typically do that. They're trying to think, what am I going to say next? They're not listening to what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Reactive listening, I call that.
Yeah.
You're reacting.
You say pressure is a privilege. When did you feel the weight of pressure and learn to embrace it?
So Billie Jean King said it, and she was one of the first, tennis phenoms for those younger folks who don't know who she is. But so she said it, and the way I frame it in my life is that when I feel pressure, when something is like I get to be here, I get to be here, but there's pressure there. Because I'm the observed. Again, I'm not on the sidelines. And so when I feel that pressure, I've been given gifts and found ways to mature those gifts in a way that brings the pressure, and that's a privilege. It is absolutely not for everyone. And so I can be victim to the pressure. And this is generally what happens. People frame it as so negative. The pressure's terrible. But I've chosen the path that I'm on, and the pressure is inevitable. So how I handle it and the reframing of it as a privilege, I get to lead people from the front and be a leader that takes the 14-inch journey from my head to my heart and lead with my heart. And I'm not ashamed of it. People at work don't do it like I do. It's all good.
Yeah.
But it's a privilege to have the pressure that I've chosen because it means I'm doing something.
Yeah, it's true. And I'm getting decently comfortable being on camera because I do quite a bit of this stuff. But even with that going, cameras rolling and audio, there is a slight pressure even to doing this. It's just a key indication we're doing something bigger.
Exactly. We're being the observed. And so people live their life on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And they have regrets about all the things they didn't do. They didn't say yes. They didn't say yes. They didn't say yes to a new job. They didn't say yes to be on stage. They didn't say yes to teach this crazy class that I learned how to do. And everything, all that pressure built who I am today.
Yeah.
And I get to speak truth to people, and I get to motivate women. This is my favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Get off the sidelines. Get in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Understand that pressure is absolutely a privilege, and own it, and it's a precious gift.
Mm-hmm. It's a good thing, especially like I love to cook. I sharpened a lot of skills that I've done over the years and just maintain those. And I think of them kind of like knives and like sharpening a new skill and then building those. But pressure cooker, great way to cook food and make things delicious.
Right?
You know, I mean,
it's a tough process.
It
and
is.
that thing, you got to be careful with that pressure cooker.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
It'll pop out on you.
Yeah.
And so that's the privilege. That's
Yeah.
the moment, because it creates this amazing pot roast or whatever is in there. You
Yeah.
know?
I like pot roast.
Well, I was thinking short ribs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's short ribs.
So
are
good.
pretty amazing.
I'm fasting now. Just remember that.
Oh, yes.
I'm a little bit
My
hungry.
apologies. My apologies.
It's going somewhere.
Next question.
Okay.
You hold strongly that you are not a victim.
Yeah.
That's a choice. What is a moment where choosing differently changed your life?
Yeah. So when we start doing this, and
Here-
you hear I'm pointing at everybody else.
Okay.
You're to blame. The traffic's to blame, and everything that happens in my life is because of a choice I made. And it may be a choice to reframe the moment, or I should have left earlier, knowing there'd be traffic in Houston. But so the victim mentality holds me back because I'm never I'm stuck in that comfort zone because I'm never going to be better. It's the I'm not, well, I am. Two most powerful words in the English language are I am, because whatever you put after it is what you're committed to. So I am stupid. And you'll hear, I don't know, women do this all the time. Stupid, Robbie. Like, really? That's the conversation you want to have with yourself? No, that's the victim mentality. I'm a victim to being stupid. I'm a victim to not being worthy. I'm a victim to not being a morning person, for those of you out there who are not morning people. I'm just saying.
Videographer.
Maybe. Just as I've made the choice not to be a morning person, I can make the choice to be a morning person. And so it's that victim mentality that holds me back from everything I want in life. And there are moments that I have said no or passed on something that I do regret. I'm not perfect.
No.
But it comes up every day for me because I own it, and especially at work. If you have people around you and you own your mistake, it means the world to people.
Yeah.
Wow, she admitted.
Or a phrase like to say, I need help.
Right.
XYZ.
That's a great one.
Can you do this for me? Delegating, letting go of things.
Yeah, if you do something that others can do, like your assistant, love that. And I would highly recommend people get that from you. But if I do something that they can do, I don't have the time to do the things only I can do.
Yeah.
Only you can sit in this podcast and have these conversations. So if you can offload that work, then you're freed up. So delegation is a huge moment. I'm not a victim to my life. I can find other ways to help. ChatGPT is a great assistant.
Yeah.
As we've talked about.
Yeah.
Lots of great information that streamlines my life, makes my life so much easier.
Yeah. Yeah, I could have a lot of like really great insights too. You want to hear something interesting ChatGPT said about me?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a
I do.
there's a prompt I heard. I think it's a Shopify CEO or something. He posted about it, but the prompt is something similar. Like, I don't want to get on my phone during the podcast,
Yeah.
but it says something like, tell me something about me. Doesn't have to be positive that I wouldn't know about myself. And some of the things it said was that I basically have the skill of being a visionary, a founder, CEO mentality, but also having the precision of like a craftsman or a surgeon.
Yeah. And that's where I saw for sure.
And so my benefit and difficulty of that is I need to know when I switch from CEO Jake or surgeon Jake. And so sometimes I can be so precise looking at something or getting something down to the detail to where I can make the corner of a door perfect, but then all I have is a perfect corner. When in reality, I should have been working on some other process that is speeding up the business to where pretty much everything I do, I look at it from perspective of like, other people can do it.
Yeah.
I'm not special. Like these little tasks, you can learn it, you can do it. Besides just sitting down here, like you said, doing a podcast or some very certain details, I have to do those tasks. But most things, people think, oh, no one else can do it like me. Yeah, they can.
They really can.
They really can.
Yeah, that analysis paralysis is a big deal. So you get stuck. 80% is good. 85% is awesome.
Exactly.
Go for it.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you want to get something to 100% of a certain skill or task, you first have to set that standard and let people know you're working with or communicating to, this is the standard, and write that out.
Yeah.
Or if you want to get to 100%, do it 120, 150%. And so that difference in between, okay, you're not going to do a certain part, well, then it's at your 100%. And so that's a challenge, just become even better yourself.
But I'm not a victim to where I am today. There's
Exactly.
always more.
There is.
And that's what a coach unlocks.
Yeah.
That's what these conversations unlock for us, because someone's going to say something that someone else has said 1,000 times. How life happens for me, not to me. But I've heard it from Robbie. I heard it from Jake today, and it made a difference in my life. And so I'm not a victim to what I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah. Why do you think people have a victim mentality?
Oh, I think it's learned behavior. I think back in third grade, you raised your hand to answer a question and you were wrong. And the kids ridiculed you, and that has taken your life over now. So now I'm never going to speak up. I'm a victim to this third grade moment that happened. I think we're all fallen. If you're a Christian at all, right? We're all fallen, and we have this negativity in us. And if I don't have someone around me to pull me up and say, "Oh my gosh, good for you for raising your hand. So what? It was wrong. What do they know about you?" I mean, to reframe it, it doesn't happen. And I just think it's learned behavior. Be seen and not heard as a kid.
Yeah.
Right. So I've learned these behaviors from my parents. Your parents gave you what they had to give.
Yeah.
They don't know any better either.
Yeah, they're just doing the best they can.
Exactly.
And we all have these limiting beliefs about ourselves that usually we're telling ourselves, I'm not good enough, or some sort of lie. When if you have like a friend or someone else from the outside look at you and say, oh, well, objectively, that's not true.
Yeah.
And just tell yourself that.
They're all lies. I mean, until you get to an I am that's powerful, I am awesome. And so speak it out loud. And so I have lots of affirmations. On my way over here, I'm like, I'm an awesome speaker. I'm an awesome podcaster. I'm going to be great today. Jake's going to be great today. Great things will happen today. But guess what? Energy and action follows thought.
True.
So what I think is going to manifest itself in my day in some way, shape, or form.
I agree.
And it's already happening.
Yeah. I was just going to ask you, what are some affirmations you say? I like those. I like to say, well, first off, when I get up, the last thing I do is check my phone. It's probably a good hour before I get my phone, unless it's, my alarm goes
Good
off.
for you.
Yeah,
of course, the phone first.
My alarm. Oh, I have I'm a big fan of Whoop.
Oh, yeah.
Whoop, watch this.
Well, it's funny. Christine in my office has one.
Oh, really?
And I have this Apple. And I got an Oura Ring.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The
I know.
Oura Ring's good. I've heard. I like to check for my sleep, but one thing I really like about it is it vibrates, so it's my alarm as well. So I don't have to necessarily check my phone. Now, if it's something really important, I set multiple alarms. Even though I generally wake up before my alarm, but it's nice for that. But I like to go to the bathroom and look in the mirror and say affirmations to start. So typically I will say, today is a good day, and smile and say it a couple of times. And it gives me just like this feeling. And the only thing that gives me that similar feeling is if I go to the ocean and like I'm by the water and it's like, this is nice.
With your dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, dog's even better, Yeah.
Not a person.
Yeah. No, I mean people.
Yeah.
But I can't always bring the dog to certain beaches, which is unfortunate. But yes, I ideally even more. That would be like a double sigh. I feel like So
Unconditional love.
Yeah.
So I do something similar. I've not gotten to the standard of not having my phone in the morning, but I read something positive. I have several places I go for positivity, and I read a positive quote. I have a lot saved on my notes. So I talk a lot about habits.
Okay.
And we get stuck in our habits. And when you just change like little things, like driving a different way to work, all of a sudden I see a new restaurant. I see a beautiful cat I didn't see. I love seeing kittens. I see a lot of cats because I'm looking for them, clearly.
Sure.
It's a reticular activating system.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
Raz.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I get up in the morning and I change my watch often. I'll put up my right hand or my left hand. The problem with Apple Watch is you have to tell it what hand it's on.
Do you? Okay.
And so it's on my right hand. It freaks people out. Are you left-handed? Nope. I just move my watch. And so when I put my watch in the morning, my affirmation is, I will not be defined by my yesterdays. Today I begin again.
Oh, I like that a lot, yeah.
And so when you start, if you move that, whatever watch thing you have on, if you moved that to your left arm, it would feel so weird.
Yeah.
You'd be aware of everything that's going on that day because that damn watch is on the wrong hand.
Right.
And it feels weird. But that's what it feels like to get out of your comfort zone. It's a very simple way to get out of your comfort zone.
And that's why you do that?
Yes, absolutely. I was taught in Discover, when it's one of the things we did, to get out of your habits. Our habits hold us back. We're a victim to our habits, right? Oh, no.
Yeah.
I'm not a morning person because I don't like to get up in the morning. Well, that's a habit.
True.
And just you made a choice not to be, you can choose to be whatever you want.
Yeah, it's whatever we give that meaning to it. I've heard of brushing your teeth with the other hand as well. So maybe I'll try that as well, like switching, because that's a pretty easy thing to
get out of your comfort zone.
Trying to do. Yeah.
And you probably don't drive anywhere. You drive Kentucky, but driving a different way changes the game. Go scenic.
Yeah.
Add an hour and go scenic.
Yeah, I like to do that sometimes, especially if I'm from Illinois. I'll go back and visit family. I drive a lot. But I'll take the different ways. Usually the scenic route is what I like.
Yeah.
So,
and it creates a new moment in your life.
Yeah, because oftentimes 5-minute difference in drive, if you're going to be late, you're probably already late.
Yeah, probably.
You just need to leave early. Doesn't matter how fast you drive.
Own it. Own everything in your life.
You say people don't need to like you for you to be respected.
Yeah.
When did you finally realize respect mattered more than being liked?
As I got up in leadership roles, what I realized is that steel sharpens steel. And so when I hold people to a higher standard, they don't like me as much. That's, again, that clear is kind. Like I was very unclear. I'm really muddy about things because I don't want to confront someone or make them feel a certain way. Well, look, we have a job to do. Yeah. We're a public company. We have shareholders. And we also have customer service, which is the most important thing. But secondarily, we have to make our standards and our quotas and stuff. And so I just find when I hold people harder to a standard, they appreciate it more. And they respect me. Yeah. They may not love me coming, or, hey, Robbie's going to have a one-on-one with you. It's going to be a tough one. I love that because I was never that way before.
Yeah, I think it's good to hold people to a certain standard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think you most likely you approach it from a place of love and grace, and you have good intention to where
14-inch journey, head to your heart. So start with your heart. I can be tough and kind. Come on.
Right.
There's no loss of kindness for any of these conversations.
No.
Think about, this doesn't always work, but think about your best favorite teacher in your life.
Yep.
Were they tough?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
For me, the teachers that challenged me more, that knew I had more in me, that knew I could rise, and they pushed me to rise, that's my favorite teachers.
Yeah. It's just like a gentle push.
Yeah.
I like to think of that. Like, hey, go get them.
Yeah.
You got this.
There's more. This is holding you back. So having a conversation with someone about what's holding them back is easier for me.
Yeah.
Because I can see what you can't see. You've got habits that are holding you back.
Yeah.
And let me explain what that's going to happen. If you continue to be late for work, you're making a choice because you're not going to get to work here. I don't want that for you.
Right, exactly.
So find a way to change your life. And so what makes you late?
Right.
This is back in the coaching moment.
Sure.
Well, my daughter's at school and I have to do this. Well, great. Let's talk about what's your system around you that allow you to get her there earlier. I don't know. But many times people are suffering and you don't know what they're suffering for.
True.
And it manifests itself in work. And so the more probing I am, the more curious, acknowledge and validate is, it helps. But I also won't pull a punch.
Yeah. I think it's good just to be, like you said, approach things from like a curious mindset. Like, oh, like what's that about?
Be curious, not furious.
Yeah. Is that one of the new sayings we
That's
have?
one of my new
That's how we talked. Yeah.
One of my new ones. Be curious, not furious. I got a ton of them.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know if we should try it, but we could probably just talk in quotes.
Isms?
Motivational.
I got tons more. Accountability, be trust.
Motivational
There's
quotes.
so many I haven't said yet. They're coming.
Yeah.
Keep asking.
Let's see. What else I want to say here? What's the biggest gift you've received from your failures?
Oh man, the understanding that it's okay to ask for help.
Why is it okay to ask for help?
Because my dad. So we are learned behaviors, right? So my dad taught me, you're independent. You're tough. He was a fighter pilot. He made full colonel when I was, we were living in Nebraska. And that's a big deal in the Air Force. And so he taught me how to be powerful. And I equated that with, I shouldn't need to ask for help. I shouldn't have to. And because I got it all. Well, that's ridiculous. And so the times when I was suffering and I was failing, when I asked for help, it just changed the game. It brought in a whole new perspective for me that I couldn't see. And to this day, I think about something and I can quickly reframe it. I'm going to call someone. Let me tell you what I'm going through and have you help me. And that's why I love to be a coach, because if people can ask for that help and have the courage not to see the money, because there's value in the journey of coaching.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably the biggest lessons I've learned, is that I'm not alone and that there are people out there who can support me when have the courage to talk to them about it.
And just know, if you ever need anything, call me.
I will.
There's certain windows of my day I cannot for sure talk.
No, I know. I'll text you first.
I'll make time for you anytime. And while people are watching this, how can they get a hold of you? Contact you? Like, what's your Instagram?
Yeah.
How can we get a hold of you?
So I'm at Robbie_Pape, ROBBY_PAPE. And I think there's another Robbie Pape with IE. My name's IE. But find me there. And so what I feel like is I touch women more than anything. I would love to coach men as well, but I just find that I resonate. The journey I've been on with my husband, two ex-husbands, and my daughter has honed me in a way that my coaching is really relevant to women. So contact me, DM me. I would love to have a conversation. And coaching is valuable. And both of us are good coaches. They can call you too.
Yeah, no, obviously.
Yeah.
You're a great coach.
Thanks.
If you could send one message back to your younger self, what would it be?
Well, I remember thinking about this question, and it would be, you don't have to know it all. Like, I remember it was in finance. I have a CPA, you mentioned that. And so I was teaching people financial statements in this company, the big company, my 30-year company. And I was terrified. I was just riddled with imposter syndrome. What if they ask me a question I don't know?
Yeah. What if I say something wrong on the podcast? Oh, well.
Oh, my God.
I'm human.
Right. Yeah. And what I learned is that I do not have to know it all. And this one thing that saved me from that was, I don't know the answer to that, Jake. I'm going to find out for you. We're going to put it on a parking lot list. So any meeting I have has a parking lot. Because I don't know all the answers. Can you imagine having all the knowledge of the universe? That's, I think, ChatGPT.
Yeah, I don't want to be ChatGPT.
No, but I don't have to know it all.
No.
And I never will.
No.
And so acknowledging, and this is a big deal when you're in relationships at work or at home, I don't know how to handle this. I told my daughter as she was being raised, there's no roadmap. I'm winging it every day, girl. Give me a break,
Yeah.
and give yourself grace.
Yeah.
So that's I don't have to know it all, so I can be graceful about that moment with me, and then just find the answer.
Yeah.
But follow through on the answer.
Yeah. Amen. I love that. Okay. So we come to a section of our show where it's called Rapid Fire Random Questions. So, yes,
I'm ready.
a lot of questions
Oh,
going
I'm
really
nervous.
fast. Okay. So, a bunch of questions real fast. Get to know Robbie quickly. Front row in spin class or back row with less pressure?
Oh, come on. Front row spin class. Get up there with me.
Perrier or Pellegrino?
Oh, I prefer Perrier.
Bikini competition or boardroom presentation?
Ooh, both. No, I'm not going to choose.
Okay.
I got to do both.
First job you ever had?
Back in the 1900s, remember, I was on the phone selling magazine subscriptions in this dark room.
They still make magazines?
Well, it was back in the day. I mean, you don't even know. You're too young, but that was a big deal. And I hated it. I'm like, what am I doing? But I was in high school and I needed a job. So.
Favorite leadership book or podcast?
Oh, my God. Stop it. I love Mel Robbins, and she's gotten sort of, rung through the ringer for her Let Them book. But it doesn't matter. I love what she says. So I love her podcast. I actually like Megyn Kelly because I like her power. I think she speaks truth. And it was not podcast, but book. Oh, book. Oof. Let Them, Dare to Lead. I think Dare to Lead probably is my favorite one. As a leader, is really powerful.
What motivates you more, your daughter or your mom?
I love my mother. So if you're listening, Mom, I love you. My daughter. So I find that my goals in life are about being a role model for her and being healthy for her so I can see her get married and have kids. So,
Morning workout or late night grind?
late night grind.
What's your go-to hype song before public speaking?
Oh, September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Do you remember the 20? And it just happened. It was on Sunday.
I love it.
I love that song.
Favorite guilty pleasure snack?
Oh, a Krispy Kreme donut.
What's
or five.
or five. What's one word your team would use to describe you?
Powerfully positive. That's 2 words. Positive for sure.
If you had a free day with no obligations, how would you spend it?
Man. Well, I would work out. I would do something, probably 2 or 3 work. If I had that much time, I'm doing P-Volve now, which I highly recommend. But I would do a spin class, which would get my heart racing. I would have lunch with a friend. I'd find someone because I love those connections. And I would absolutely find something on Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV that would just get my mind off of everything. And my favorite one of late was, I can't think of it. It was Period Piece. Once I'm done, I'm done with Gilded Age.
I gotcha.
Oh, I loved it.
My last question, what's the one decision that has made the biggest difference in your life?
Okay, deciding to have a child at almost 40 years old. So my daughter's 40 years younger than me. It's a chasm in this lifetime because I wasn't raised with the internet. So that the decision to do, I never wanted a child. She knows this. And so it was with my ex, but that was okay. So that decision allowed me to see myself through her eyes at every given moment. And so it's, what would Jesus do is great, but what would Sam see? Am I being a powerful, positive role model for her? I don't want her to get it from Kim Kardashian. If I don't choose it for myself, how will she ever know what it looks like?
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you so much for coming to the podcast,
You're
Robbie.
welcome. Loved it.
Yep, great time.
Thanks.
Thank you for watching the Jake Turner podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and to follow me on all my other social media platforms. The links are in the description below.